Hey, it's Kevin back for another episode of the video blog. Okay, one more sort of serious blog today. Sort of music business, sort of not, and just kind of wrapping up the week, I think. Not necessarily talking music business subjects, but as you see, today's title of the blog is How Bad Do You Want It? Again, I've run into a lot of my friends and acquaintances from the music business, from the radio business over the years this week during CMA Week in Nashville. And the one thing is, if you're out of sight, you're really out of mind. It's almost like I've gone underground the last couple of years since I got out of radio, and then since the record company went belly up. And a lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, what are you doing?" I've tried to explain it to them. I kind of explain it the best I can. I'm like, "Oh wow." And then they mentioned that my wife is still living in Ohio, and then we're 500 miles away. And the one question always comes up is, "Oh my gosh, how do you do it?" And my answer is, it's always about how bad you want it. I'm very blessed to have a very loving, very understanding wife who's allowing me to follow a dream, who's allowing me to start a business, and at the same time understands that right now we need to conserve the money for the business, conserve the money to be able to move to Nashville. It's not like now I have a company other than my own company that can pay to move me here. We're going to have to pay to move ourselves. We've got a house in Ohio, like I said, with the way not only the housing market was in Ohio, but now the economy, we don't want to take a huge bath on the house that we love up there. So for the time being, it made sense for me to live 500 miles from my wife. And I always come back to how bad do you want it? And I think that's something everybody can take away in everything they do, is no matter what you do, no matter what life circumstance or situation, you always have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Again, my wife is my best friend. There's nobody I love more on earth to spend time with than my wife. And it's very tough now, with as successful as the business is how busy I am, how busy she is with her career, that we don't see each other necessarily every 4 to 6 weeks. A year ago at this time, I was kind of working 3 days out of Nashville, 4 days out of Ohio. Then it got to be a 1 week on, 1 week off. Then it got to be every couple of weeks. And I said, now it's in the 4 to 6 week category. Again, it's not optimum. It's not the way either of us would like it. But again, when I ask myself, how bad do I want it? I want to make this business work. Fortunately, my marriage works, so I don't have to worry about that. And I think it's important that no matter what you tackle in life, again, whether it's a career, whether it's a hobby, whatever it is, the question you got to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? I'm very, very blessed. It's always interesting when I run into my old radio and records friends, because we don't get a chance to really sit down and get into depth. We don't get a chance to talk for more than 5-10 minutes before you're running off doing something else, before the cell phone rings, before the email comes in. You know how that is, busy, busy people. But as I always say, and I never thought I was one of those success-rate posters kind of guy. In fact, everybody who knows me knows I'm not. But it is important to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Something to take with you. I promise you tomorrow, much, much, much less serious. But I thought this was a nice way to kind of wrap up CMA week and kind of as an answer to some of the questions that people have been asking me throughout the week. You have a great night, a great day, and back tomorrow. Okay, a little bit more Kevin silliness, I promise you.